Hello everyone, welcome back to the Northwestern Central Railroad. And today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to actually edit a video this time. Yay! Don't mind my hand movements in the background. I don't know how to do that properly yet. So we're going to do a look over a review of my Lionel post-war collection. So let's go! Our first car on the list today is going to be the Lionel 6112 gondola. Obviously, this isn't a great gondola. It definitely has some good and bad specs to it. I do like the operating knuckle couplers on it if both would work, because as you can see on that car, it takes a good amount of force to pry it open, and it does not open by itself when it's using the operating track. So that's why it's mediocre, but it makes it even worse with the scratches on the side of it, or looks like someone took a blowtorch to it. Not really too much detail on it, considering on the inside, but it's okay. It's fine. Next car. All right, next gondola. Next one we got is another post-war Lionel 64-2. It's the exact same design as my 6112, but it is a little bit more cooler looking. Even though it's way more basic with complete plastic trucks with the metal wheels on fixed knuckle couplers, but you do get more detail inside with some nice riveting on the base of the car, on the sides, same as before, and it's not super banged up, so it's really nice. On to the next car. Alright, so our next car is going to be the 6477 bulkhead flat car. I say bulkhead is because it actually used to be a bulkhead flat car, but one of the sides on it was completely missing, so I was like, no, it's okay, but it's not the major end of the world. But the other side, it actually has intact, but in terrible condition, so I decided to take it off as well. So that's why it's a flat car by itself. As you can see on the bottom, it has this, the tab knuckle couplers with a little tab sticking out. I actually do like the design. It's kind of cool and interesting, and you don't see that too much on modern and vintage O-gauge equipment. And it is very reliable. I do like it. And that's why next car is going to be the 25,000 series Lehigh Valley 2-bay hopper. As you can see, it's okay. It was very plastic. It was made in 1948, as you can tell by the build date. And it has the exact same truck design as my 6112 car gondola I showed earlier. But unfortunately, one of the side trucks is non-operating, but the other one is still good, so it's still feasible. Taking off the load here, it's actually not part of the car. I did make this myself out of coal from an expansion pack, Elmer's glue that you get for schools, and cardboard. Inside is pretty dirty, so that's why I made it for this. It looks pretty good, and I think that if I could use a little bit more coal, it'd be better. The bottom isn't too much. You have some labels, and it's just an okay car. Going on to the next one. Alright, next car is going to be the 3461 automatic log dumping car. This is actually one of my, part of the trains.com purchase that I shown with a lot of freight cars. It's not bad. It is in okay condition. Definitely has a lot of rust on it. And as you can tell by the truck design for the automatic knuckle couplers, it doesn't have anything on it, which I think is still pretty cool. It gives it a little bit more realistic vibe. Looking at the dump here, it's nothing too much. It definitely does work reliably, and you see on the inside, nothing really too much going on. Just fun shot. Anyways, looking around on the back, it's okay. It's just a really big problem with this one. The prongs sticking up on the back are very wobbly and falling out of place, and I'm not really liking it. But this car is so good. I actually got two of these, the exact same, but I'm not going to go over the other one because it's the exact same design. But yeah, I do like this one, so on to the next one. Alright, this car has a little bit more specialty to it. This is a Lionel, obviously, a Lionel 6462 gondola, and compared to the length on the other gondolas I have, it is much longer because this is 027 gauge and this is pure O gauge. As you can see, it's got the metal design wheels as it does on the other cars. It doesn't have the tab sticking out for the operating knuckle coupler feature, which I think is really nice, and a good amount of detail with a good, really like, if the camera can focus, really nice coloring on the label there. Got a great NYC logo there, some specs about the car. Inside, detailed, very nice, even though it's quite dirty, but it gives off like another vibe of some pre-made weathering to it. Bottom side, I don't know how to take the shell off, but it's staying like this. So yeah, I found this car for $5, which is the reason why it's a little bit more important value to me. And you just really don't see these cars a lot for good value, even though that these are pretty much dirt cheap. Even though I would love to pay below market value as best I possibly can. On to the next item. Alright, next car is going to be the 6357 SP type caboose. I say SP because it was a Southern Pacific prototype that they used, but honestly, I don't care what it is. I love these cars so much because the design is so noticeable for O gauge and O scale. And it's it's definitely not the best car in my collection. As you can tell, it is hella dirty and is definitely needing some cleaning. The screws on holding up the cab on one side is missing, and the other one is fine. Same for the handlebars. Like I say, it's really bad rust. The chimney on top is plastic, I believe, but I'm not sure. And it's just all around pretty dirty, but the bottom gets really goofy out because the wiring connecting to the center pickup roller has been completely disconnected, and I had to take apart the original wire, expose some of the metal so that I can actually touch the pickup roller because I don't know how to solder. All in all, it's okay, and I'm not the biggest fan. Next car. But this one is going to shock you very much because this is a 6000 series car that I got at a local open house from a railroad convention that was near my location, and I'm like, oh, I should go. And this car is the sole reason why I got into post-war trains and collecting them in general, because it's just so cool, and at the time I loved it. It had a small form factor, which was very iconic and noticeably different from my entire collection beforehand. It was okay. I mean, I don't know if it come off on camera, but one of the trucks is actually lower than the other one because of some tie inside that's holding it. I don't know why it's doing that, but every time when I try to fix it, it's just still stays the same. You see the tabs on the knuckle couplers itself, they don't have any of them. It's just a tab itself, and I think it's a good design to go with for a first time ever post-war car. Next one. Ooh, we're climbing up the ranks in quality, or at least desirability, in my collection, because next we got my favorite post-war car, second favorite post-war car in my entire collection, and this is the iconic 3472 automatic refrigerated milk car. And I love this one so much because it has the exact same, very similar design to my 6000 series boxcar. But not only if I got this in a lot with from trains.com, even I probably, for estimated market value for the price I got for this, it was around like less than $5 in operating condition. That is absolutely amazing. I love that. Even better condition is that it has all four of the little step ladders on each side, which is something you don't see too often. On the back here, the door on the right hand side is broken because it is missing a spring to hold it in, but this one still has it in. I don't want to open up too much because if I open it too far, the spring will pop out and I have to take apart the entire car and try to put it back in. I don't have any real post-war barrels or milk cartons to go with this, so I just use my cartons that I had for a post-war reproduction of a 64 size box car for milk and a clear milk car. That was around 2010s. Obviously, it has seen better days. It's definitely not perfect. There's a lot of yellowing to the car. The operating feature for the milk coming out is a little finicky, and the wiring is starting to get a little frayed, which I'm getting a little nervous about when it finally expires. Hopefully, it's not too soon. Anyway, next item. Ooh, here comes the cream of the crop, the big kahuna of my collection. The 736 Berkshire, I believe, from 1946, with a 6466W tender. Oh my god, I love this thing so much. It is absolutely amazing design. And I gotta say, for the only post-war era steam engine, or engine in general, in my collection, it is absolutely gorgeous. This thing has stood the test of time, I've heard, through a good history backstory that I don't want to go too much into, but I will say it is definitely a high quality item in my collection, even though that some of it isn't 100% working. I love the detail on this thing because it's massive. It really is. It is so iconic with its look because it kind of looks like a Hudson, but with the Berkshire wheel configuration. But the drivers on it, I don't know why they're so mesmerizing when they go off on the rails at high speeds. It's so cool to look at, and I absolutely love it for that reason. In the smokestack, it actually has some of the leftover smoke pellets powder from the previous owner, and it's still in there somehow. Looking at the bell's great, but the wires going along the side of the boiler is actually still intact, which is pretty cool. Checking out the boiler front, you can swing it open, looking inside for the light bulb with a nice satisfying click to close it. Unfortunately, the boiler front entirely is very wobbly and may come off someday, but hopefully I could try to fix it. It is very nice though. I love the size. Now we're going on to the 6466W tender. I say W because this is a whistling tender, in fact. And as you can see by the lettering on it being so faded, it has been well loved dearly. Looking at it, it's really have seen the test of time. And honestly, I think the other side looks better than the other side's label. Going on to the bottom is where things get really funny because one of the wires for connecting to the pickup roller again for the car has been broken off. So what I just stuck it in underneath the whistle tender before I can find a solution so it doesn't short the track. Looking at it, it's very basic. It's nothing too major, but obviously this is a first post-war tender, so it's going to be having high expectations for it all around. Looking at the back at the top here, you see this still has the original wire there holding in on the shell, and on the front it's still got the cool stuff on it, and it looks really nice. I'm sorry for the camera there, you cannot see it too well. Still got the original tab on the coupler for the connecting to the engine, and I think it's pretty cool looking. All in all, I think it's a really nice tender. Alright, I forgot to mention earlier, but I wanted to get the whole gang on the track here. So obviously leading is going to be our Gloria 736 with the 3472, the both 3431s, the 6462, the bulkhead. I'm not good with numbers. 25,000 hopper, 6014, the 6112, and then I can't see it back there. Yeah, I'm not prepared for this. It's 6042, and then ending it off is the 6357 caboose. I can't even name the camera correctly. Okay, cool. Great start. Alright, so what we got, I'm not sure if the whole thing can pull it, because I have not done a test like that. But it's strong, but it can't pull too much operating cars. So, real quick, here's going to be a operation of the whistle for the tender. It's raspy, but it's fine. But anyways, we're going to send this bad boy around the layout, so let's get her done. I did not think this over. Okay, hold on. Intermission. Alright, so that did not go as planned, but the weight, of course, was too much, and I was on trying to get the bell straight. It was on full power with the transformer, and yet it was going so slow. So what I did was I took off the operating cars, both three here, and I'm just going to put them off to the side and let the engine run this by itself because it's not too powerful right now. But anyways, take number 2, let's roll her out. Alright, so that was the okay running of the 736 with some really bad camera footage. Hopefully we get a laugh out of it. Alright, so I'm going to take the cars off behind it, and I'm going to hook up the operating cars, which is both 3461 log cars and 3472 milk car. Alright, so now we got the new configuration going on. I kept the caboose on it just because, you know, train's gotta have a caboose. It's gonna be both log cars and the milk car that I showed off. So let's get them rolling as well. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm going to try something a little bit different, obviously with the mediocre editing that I did. But hey, I tried my best, and we're going to see if this approach is going to be successful for my channel in the future. So yeah, I just want to do a quick video on an idea that I had for about a week or so. I got another really cool idea that has to do with Legos. Stay tuned for that. And it's not a bad idea for what I'm trying to do, and you know what? Taking advice from the viewers of the channel is always a good thing to do, in my personal opinion. You know, that's how you grow and develop a good fan base for the community that you're supporting. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Like, subscribe so we can get to 500 subscribers now, and yeah, get ready for the 400 subscriber live stream coming out soon. It'll probably be the day after I post this or 2 days after I post this video. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out. But yeah. Anyways, this is going to be the Northwestern Central Railroad signing off. Have a very, very nice day. Okay, this is from me as editor from the future. I completely forgot about two cars that I was supposed to show in the presentation that I'm showing, but I got caught up on the engine, on the amazing specs, and I completely forgot mentioning them. And it was the 3469 automatic dump car and the 3520 searchlight car. Obviously these are not in proper working condition. I believe it was on this car, one of the wires that are connecting to the center pickup points came apart, and yes, it was this one. And then when I try to use it, sometimes it just goes off on its own without even using or being remotely even close to a remote operating track. But when the feature goes off, it definitely does work. It is nice. And then I'm gonna fix the camera. And then for the 3520, the wiring that's connecting to this truck is a little loose, and I can't keep a steady connection with the searchlight, or at least when the light is on in general. But when it does, by God, that searchlight goes 360 faster than Sonic, I'm telling you. Also, if anyone knows how to keep that light on or what this lever does on the bottom, hit me up on the comment section. I'm interested. So yeah, that was really quick note to bring up. Bye bye.